You are not lazy due to a lack of willpower. You are lazy because you lack a code for life. Observe your pattern. Monday arrives and you wake up with explosive motivation. You are going to change everything. Gym every day, waking up at 5 in the morning, perfect diet, total focus at work. You feel real energy. You believe this time will be different. Tuesday still works. Wednesday, you already start negotiating. Saturday, you have completely relaxed. And Sunday arrives with that heavy guilt, that burden of another lost week. Monday again, you promise to start over from scratch. This cycle repeats infinitely. And it is not a failure of character. It is a failure of structure. You are trying to build discipline on quicksand. You are seeking consistency without a solid foundation. The root problem is this. You seek grand transformations. 2 hours of working out every day, waking up at 5, cutting everything bad all at once. A radical, heroic change in 30 days. But all this intensity collapses at the first real resistance. Modern culture has sold you this lie. Hustle culture, heavy grind, maximum intensity, explosive transformation that will make you turn into another person. But real discipline has never worked that way. The samurai understood something profound that modern man has forgotten. Transformation does not come from explosive, heroic effort. It comes from invisible improvement, repeated silently for years. They called this Kaizen, 1% improvement every day, for decades. It is not dramatic. It does not generate an impressive story. No one will applaud. But it works. And it keeps working when motivation runs out, when the novelty wears off, when no one is watching. There are 7 ancient samurai principles that, applied as daily micro-habits, destroy laziness without needing superhuman willpower, without needing to become another person, without impossible radical transformation. The difference is clear. Day 1, you wake up with mental chaos. You procrastinate, negotiate, postpone, justify. Day 30, you wake up and act automatically. No drama, no thought, no internal negotiation. Action based on an unbreakable internal code. But these 7 habits require something that modern man has completely lost. Total presence in the present moment. Not obsession with future results, not regret for the past. Presence in the act itself. Now, just that.
Habit 1. Kaizen. The discipline of invisible 1%. Kaizen means continuous improvement. It was formalized in post-war Japan as a business philosophy that rebuilt the country. But the roots are much older. They come straight from the samurai mindset. Samurai did not become masters in one heroic year of intense training. They practiced silently for 10, 20, 30 years. There was no magical shortcut. There was no hack. Only invisible daily practice that no one saw, no one applauded, no one recognized at the time. And after decades of this microscopic repetition, the world finally saw a master. But it never saw the 10,000 days of solitary training that no one witnessed. Here is the unpopular truth that destroys most attempts at change. You don't need 2 hours of training a day. You need 10 minutes for 1,000 consecutive days. You don't need radical transformation overnight. You need 1% improvement repeated until it stops being an action and becomes identity. Western discipline is explosive effort. You promise to change everything at once, to do everything perfectly, to be impeccable. And this impossible promise guarantees failure, because no one sustains heroic intensity indefinitely. Samurai discipline is minimal action repeated until it is no longer an action you do. It is who you are. You don't work out because you decided to work out today. You work out because working out is your identity. Hayao Kawai, a Japanese Jungian psychologist, reveals something crucial. The Western ego seeks dramatic transformation to validate effort. It needs a heroic story. It needs to prove value through visible sacrifice. The Japanese ego seeks shibumi, discreet elegance without ostentation, invisible sophistication. And here is the internal mechanism that sabotages you. When you promise, "I'm going to turn my life upside down tomorrow," your unconscious knows it's a lie. It has seen this movie before. You have promised this before. And it boycotts with defensive laziness. Concrete example. The man who promises, "I will read 1 hour a day," fails in the first week. Too much resistance, too much time, too much change. The man who promises, "I will read 1 page before sleeping," maintains it for years, because 1 page is ridiculously easy. And after years of reading 1 page, he has read 50 books, while the other read none. Laziness cannot withstand micro-habits. It only wins when you promise too much and deliver nothing. Andrew Newberg demonstrates through neuroscience. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself, works better with low-intensity repetition than with intense sporadic effort. Habits of 5 to 10 minutes daily alter brain structure in 8 weeks. 2-hour weekly practices do not show the same neural consistency. Why? Because the brain learns through consistent repetition, not through sporadic heroic effort. And the chemistry is clear. Daily microscopic victories release sustainable dopamine. Your brain registers, "I completed it," and rewards you. When this happens every day, you create a neurological positive loop. Action generates reward, which facilitates the next action. But giant goals create unrealistic expectations. When you don't achieve them quickly, frustration blocks dopamine. You feel like a failure. The brain associates action with pain. The next time, it becomes harder to start. The practice is simple. Choose 1 2-minute action that you will do every day for 30 days without exception. 10 push-ups upon waking, 1 page of reading, 2 minutes of breathing. Just 1 action. Do not negotiate, do not expand yet. Brutal reflective question. What giant promise did you make to yourself that you already knew you wouldn't keep?
Habit 2. Mushin. The discipline of action without thought. Mushin literally means no mind or empty mind. It is not emptiness in the sense of ignorance. It is emptiness of interference, of internal narrative, of the analytical ego. Samurai trained kata, forms of combat, for years until the body acted before the mind processed. The sword moves without the warrior consciously deciding. The movement flows without intermediary thought. Why was this crucial in combat? Because thinking takes time. In a mortal duel, half a second of hesitation kills you. The warrior who thinks, "Should I attack now or defend?" loses to the warrior who simply acts. And here is the brutal connection with laziness. Laziness is not physical, it is mental. It is exactly the space between "I should do" and "I will do." It is the internal negotiation that happens between intention and execution. It is the narrative your mind creates justifying postponement. You wake up, you know you should work out, but the mind starts immediately. "I'm tired. I can go after coffee. It's cold today. Maybe tomorrow is better. I'll really start Monday." And while you negotiate internally, the action does not happen.
Mushin completely eliminates this space, not through willpower, through automatism. You create environmental triggers that fire action without passing through conscious decision. Alarm rings, feet on the floor, workout clothes, door. Zero mental narrative, zero internal negotiation. You don't decide whether to work out every morning. You decided once in the past. Now you just execute mechanically. Kawai explains this through the concept of ma, the empty space between actions. In Japanese culture, this space exists without tension. It is a natural pause. In the West, we fill this space with anxiety and obsessive mental narrative. Internal mechanism. Laziness arises when the mind creates stories between intention and action. I'm tired is not an objective fact. It is a narrative. It's not worth it right now is an interpretation. I'll do it later is negotiation. Mushin would be alarm rings, feet on the floor, workout clothes, door. No intermediate story, no interpretation, no negotiation. Just an automatic sequence of physical actions. Newberg shows what happens neurologically. Mushin temporarily deactivates the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, the area of excessive analysis and paralyzing self-criticism, and it activates the basal ganglia, deep structures responsible for learned automatic movements. Martial arts practitioners in a flow state show lower activity in the narrative self region, the part of the brain that keeps creating stories about who you are, what you can do, what others will think. That part shuts down. Every time you act without thinking, through an established routine, you rewire neurons to make discipline automatic, not heroic. You transfer processing from the conscious area to the automatic area. The practice is the 5-second combat rule. When a task arises, count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And at 1, execute the first physical action immediately. Open the notebook, put on your sneakers, pick up the book. No thinking, no negotiating, no justifying. Reflective question. How many times have you missed an important action because you overthought before executing?
Habit 3. Shoshin, the discipline of the beginner's mind. Shoshin means the beginner's mind. It is a Zen mindset that maintains curiosity, humility, and absence of ego, regardless of the level of mastery achieved. Sword masters, like Miyamoto Musashi, continued practicing basic movements until the end of their lives as if it were the first day of training. Not because they forgot, but because Shoshin maintains freshness, openness, and the ability to see with new eyes. And here is where it gets brutal in the connection with laziness. Laziness disguises itself as experience. You say, "I've tried this before. I already know it doesn't work for me. That's just how I am. I'm not the disciplined type." And all this narrative seems true because you have evidence. You tried and failed multiple times. But here is what is really happening. You are not lazy. You are cynical. You have accumulated limiting beliefs about yourself that prevent a true restart. Every past failure created a layer of psychic protection, and now you are not fighting laziness, you are fighting the crystallized identity of a person who fails. Kawai explains this through the concept of ki, psychic energy. A child has pure ki, uncontaminated by emotional memory. They have no history of failure. They have no belief about what they can or cannot do. They try, fall, get up, try again, no existential drama. An adult has ki blocked by trauma and accumulated failure.
They carry the weight of all negative experience, and this weight manifests as preventative resistance. You don't avoid working out because you are lazy. You avoid it because you have already defined yourself as a person who tries and fails to work out. Example: a man who tried to diet 10 times and failed 10 times. He is no longer fighting food, he is fighting the identity of a diet failure. Every new attempt carries the emotional weight of the previous 10. The more he tries to prove that this time will be different, the more he reinforces the failure pattern. Shoshin is the antidote, not by pretending failures didn't exist, but by refusing to allow them to define who you are today in this moment. Every morning is day one, literally. It doesn't matter how you were yesterday. It doesn't matter how many times you failed. It doesn't matter what identity you built about yourself. Today you are new, complete reset. Newberg demonstrates that the brain registers past failures as somatic memories, muscle tension, automatic emotional response patterns, learned avoidance. All of this is physically encoded in neural connections. But contemplative practices like Zazen reset those connections. You can literally train your brain to forget who you were, to deactivate the automatic system of limiting beliefs, to allow new possibilities to emerge. Shoshin is not feigning naivete. It is temporarily deactivating the filter of past experiences that distorts the present. The practice is the total restart morning. Upon waking, before picking up your phone, say out loud, looking in the mirror, "Today is day one. Everything I failed at yesterday no longer exists. I am new. Complete slate." Doing this ritually for 21 consecutive days changes the neural perception of identity. Deep reflective question: what failed version of yourself are you fiercely defending even though it is destroying you? If you are feeling real depth here, subscribe to the channel now, because the content is not superficial motivation, it is structural transformation based on wisdom tested over centuries.
Habit 4. Fudoshin, the discipline of the immovable mind. Fudoshin means immovable mind or unshakable spirit. It is the ability to maintain absolute mental clarity under extreme pressure without uncontrolled emotional reactivity. In battle, a warrior who allows themselves to be shaken by fear, anger, or excitement loses focus and dies quickly. Fudoshin is emotional discipline under fire. It does not mean not feeling emotion. It means not allowing emotion to govern decision and paralyze action. And here is the truth. Laziness is not just physical. It is deeply emotional. You avoid action because you fear discomfort. You fear failure. You fear judgment. You fear the pain of effort. Brutal modern translation. Discipline is not doing something when you feel like it. It is doing it despite feeling absolutely nothing. It is acting regardless of the present emotional state. Kawai reveals the psychic mechanism through the concept of amae, emotional dependence, an unconscious search for maternal comfort. Immature adults live governed by infantile amae. They only do what they feel like doing. They instinctively avoid discomfort. Laziness is amae disguised as self-care. I don't want to do it because I don't feel good. I'll wait until I'm motivated. I need to be in the right mood. All these phrases are amae asking for comfort instead of growth. Concrete example. The man who only works out when he feels inspired trains twice a month. The man with Fudoshin trains Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, inspired or depressed, motivated or empty, with energy or exhausted.
The rule does not change based on feeling. Newberg shows that Fudoshin trains emotional regulation through the strengthening of the ventromedial prefrontal cortex. This region controls the amygdala, the primitive fear center. The stronger the prefrontal cortex, the more control you have over automatic emotional reactions. Meditation, focused on observing emotions without reacting, literally thickens the brain regions for self-control in 8 weeks. And every time you act against the practice is the voluntary discomfort protocol. Every day, do one thing that you don't want to do but must do. Cold shower, difficult phone call, boring task, uncomfortable conversation. Do not wait for the desire. Do not wait to be ready. Execute coldly like a samurai in combat. Brutal reflective question. How many important decisions are you waiting to feel like executing?
Habit 5. Hashin, the discipline of the heart like water. Hashin means mind like water. It is a mental state that reflects reality without distortion, just as the surface of a calm lake perfectly reflects the moon without altering its image. A warrior with Hashin does not cling to past emotions nor anxiously anticipate the future. They are totally present in the now without internal turbulence. The metaphor is physical. Still water reflects with total clarity. Agitated water distorts everything. Your mind works exactly the same way. And laziness arises when the mind is turbulent with regret for the past or anxiety about the future. You do not act now because you are trapped in another time. Samurai lived Ichigo Ichi, one encounter, one opportunity. Every moment is unique and unrepeatable. It does not return, it does not repeat. It is here now, and then it is gone forever. This consciousness creates a calm urgency, not anxiety, presence. Modern translation: you are lazy because your mind is divided, part of it ruminating on yesterday's guilt, part anticipating tomorrow's fear. And in the only moment where action is possible, now, you are not present. You are temporally fragmented. Kawai explains this through the concept of ima, absolute nowness. Traditional Japanese culture practices present time without the weight of the past or the future. Westerners live in psychological time, always carrying the past, always projecting the future. Japanese train to live in pure present time. Internal mechanism. Laziness thrives on temporal rumination. I failed yesterday, why should I try today? What if I fail again tomorrow? These questions are not about now. They are about other times that do not exist in this moment. Hashin completely cuts these temporal loops. Concrete example. You want to work out now, but your mind brings, last week you skipped 3 days. That proves you lack discipline. And if you can't maintain it this time, it will be one more failure on the list. Hashin responds, irrelevant. Now is now. I put on my sneakers. Newberg demonstrates that Hashin activates the medial prefrontal cortex, the region of present awareness, and it deactivates the default mode network, responsible for temporal wandering and rumination about the past and future. Mindfulness practitioners show lower amygdala reactivity to negative memories and lower anticipatory anxiety about the future. They literally train the brain to live in the only time that exists, now. Every moment that you anchor attention in the present through breathing, bodily sensation, present action, you weaken the neural circuits of laziness based on psychological time. The practice is the 3 breaths anchor. Before any task you are postponing, Take 3 deep breaths, saying mentally, Breath 1, I release the past. Breath 2, I release the future. Breath 3, I am here now. Then immediate action without thinking. Reflective question. How many actions did you fail to take today because of thoughts about yesterday or tomorrow?
Habit 6. Zanshin, the discipline of residual attention. Zanshin means remaining mind or persisting heart. It is a state of relaxed alertness that continues after the main action, preventing carelessness at the moment of apparent conclusion. After the cut, the warrior maintains guard, posture, and complete attention. Because the enemy may not be dead, another may attack from behind. Zanshin prevents failure in the last 1% when you think you are finished. And here is the modern failure pattern. You are not lazy because you fail at the beginning. You start well. Initial motivation is high. The first few days you execute perfectly, but you relax halfway, and you quit before the actual end. Repetitive classic pattern: starts a diet strong, relaxes in the second week, collapses in the third, starts an exciting project, abandons it 80% completed, trains intensely for 3 weeks, disappears in the fourth. Always in enthusiastic start mode, never in disciplined conclusion mode. And the problem is not capability, it is a lack of zanshin. You do not maintain presence until complete termination. Kawai explains that zanshin is the antidote to nagare, the cultural tendency to be carried away by the external flow, losing the internal center and purpose. You start something with strong intention, but as soon as the novelty passes, the initial dopamine wears off, you seek the next source of stimulation, the next bright project, the next exciting challenge, the next promise. Psychological mechanism. Midway laziness happens when the novelty ends and only repetitive execution remains. Then you seek new dopamine in another exciting beginning, and you accumulate unfinished projects that erode self-confidence. Brutal example. A man who starts 5 online courses, finishes none, starts 3 businesses, none prosper. Always excited at the beginning, always missing in the middle. And deep down, he knows he doesn't finish what he starts. How can he trust himself with something truly important? Newberg shows that zanshin maintains sustained activation of the anterior cingulate cortex even after the initial dopamine reward is gone. This region is responsible for long-term focus without the need for constant emotional reward. Zen meditation practitioners show a greater ability to maintain attention without the expectation of reward. It is literally neural training for focus without emotion, continuing when the initial excitement fades. True discipline begins exactly when the initial emotion disappears. Zanshin is the neural muscle to continue without excitement, without novelty, without applause. The practice is the conscious closing ritual. Never finish a task hastily to rush to the next stimulus. Upon completing something, a workout, a job, a meal, a conversation, stop for 30 seconds. 3 deep breaths. Mental acknowledgement with gratitude. I completed this with presence. It trains the brain to value completion, not just the excited start. How many projects have you started with maximum excitement and silently abandoned halfway because you lost the buzz?
Habit 7. Wabi-sabi, the discipline of perfect imperfection. Wabi-sabi is a Japanese aesthetic and philosophy that finds beauty in imperfection, impermanence, and incompleteness. The beauty of things that are imperfect, impermanent, and incomplete. A sword with battle scars is more valuable than a flawless new sword. Scratched armor tells a story of survival. Cracked pottery, repaired with gold, is more beautiful than perfect pottery. Perfection is artificial. Reality is imperfect. And here is the modern poison that paralyzes. You are trapped in perfectionism disguised as a high standard. If I can't do it perfectly, I won't do it. If I don't have ideal conditions, I won't start. If I can't give my best, I won't give anything. Laziness hides behind, I'm not ready yet. I need the right equipment first. I'll start when I have the ideal time. I need to study more first. All these phrases are perfectionism preventing imperfect action. Wabi-sabi destroys this trap. Better imperfectly done than perfectly not done. Ugly, active action beats beautiful, paralyzed intention. Kawai reveals that Japanese culture values iki, effortless sophistication, elegance in simplicity. The West values polished perfection and impeccable appearance. Japan values imperfect authenticity and visible process. Psychological mechanism. Perfectionism is not a virtue. It is fear of judgment masked as a high standard. I'll wait until I'm 100% ready means I'm afraid of being seen failing. If I never show an imperfect version, no one can criticize. Concrete example. The man who won't open a business because the website is not perfect. Won't work out because he doesn't have the ideal program set up yet. Won't write because he doesn't know enough yet. Won't act because he doesn't have perfect conditions. Wabi-sabi says, start ugly, fix it along the way, learn by doing. Newberg demonstrates that perfectionism activates the amygdala, the center for fear of judgment, and it paralyzes the motor cortex, the execution region. Wabi-sabi calms the amygdala by accepting imperfection as natural and necessary. Practitioners of the Japanese tea ceremony, which deeply incorporates wabi-sabi, show lower performance anxiety and greater acceptance of good enough instead of impossible perfection. Every time you act imperfectly, but actively, you train your brain to prioritize execution over eternal planning, action over perfection, done over ideal. The practice is the ugly done rule. Every day, do one thing poorly on purpose. A 10-minute workout instead of a perfect 1-hour session. A 5-line text instead of a complete article. A 2-minute phone call instead of an ideally planned conversation. Goal: to break the dictatorship of perfection, to release imperfect action. What project are you holding on to in eternal perfection that will never see the light of day?
Now let's unite the 7 principles into an immediately applicable progressive system. 4 weeks, 7 habits, layered construction. Week 1, installation of Kaizen and Mushin. Choose one 2-minute action, just one, not 3, 1, non-negotiable, every day, same time. Apply the 5-second rule. When the time comes, count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and at 1, execute the first physical action without thinking. Goal: create neural automatism, remove mental negotiation, install invisible discipline that does not depend on motivation. Week 2, adding Shoshin and Wabi-sabi. Maintain the habit from week 1. Add the total restart morning. Every day upon waking, today is day 1. I am new. Past failures do not exist. Apply the ugly done rule. Do the habit poorly if necessary, but do it. Imperfect and done beats perfect and postponed. Goal: deactivate limiting identity. Allow a genuine restart. Destroy paralyzing perfectionism that prevents action. Week 3, installing Fudoshin and Hashin. Maintain previous habits. Add one voluntary discomfort per day. something you don't want to do but must do, without waiting for the desire. Before every postponed task, do the 3 breaths anchor. Release past and future. Anchor in the now. Then act. Goal: train action independent of emotion. Strengthen presence in the present moment. Stop living in psychological time. Week 4. Activating Zanshin and total integration. Maintain all 6 previous principles. Add the conscious closing ritual. After completing any task, a 30-second pause. 3 breaths, acknowledgement. I completed this with presence. Daily review. Which samurai principle did I use today? Where did I fail? Where did I succeed? Goal: value completion. Train presence until the end. Integrate the 7 principles as a permanent code for life. Subscribe to the channel now and turn on notifications, because you will need reminders when motivation runs out, and it will run out. But the code does not run out. The code either exists or it does not exist.
Here is the synthesis that connects all 7 principles. Samurai did not win by brute force. They won by total presence, not by emotional motivation, by invisible repetition and an unbreakable code they followed regardless of feeling. Modern culture sells explosive transformation, 30 days to get rich, 90 days for a perfect body, 6 months to completely change your life. All of this collapses because it is fundamentally unsustainable. The Samurai Code teaches a different truth. Day 1 and day 10,000 are identical. You are just present and you act according to an internal code. No drama, no negotiation, no need to feel something special, just code and execution. 1% improvement is not dramatic. It is not Instagrammable. It does not generate a heroic story. It is not perfect. But in 365 days, you are 37 times better. In 10 years, you're unrecognizable. And you get there imperfect, but complete. Brutal final revelation. Laziness is not a lack of will. It is a lack of an unbreakable internal code. Samurai did not feel motivated every day. They had Bushido, the warrior's path. Unbreakable rules that they followed blindly, even without emotion, even without excitement, even without an audience. There was no internal debate. There was no renegotiation based on feeling. There was code, and code has no exceptions. It does not have days off because you're not up for it. It does not have renegotiation because conditions changed. Code simply exists, and you either follow it or you don't. When you follow it consistently, something profound happens neurologically. You stop being a person who tries to be disciplined. You become a disciplined person. And when you are that, action flows naturally without heroic effort.
Now, before closing this video, you have a clear choice in front of you. Continue living without a code, promising change on Monday, collapsing on Thursday, feeling guilty on Sunday, repeating the cycle indefinitely until life passes you by. Or build a samurai code that does not negotiate. Construction begins with microscopic action. Choose one 2-minute action that you will do tomorrow at the exact same time without negotiation for 30 consecutive days. Don't choose 3 actions. Don't choose the best one. Choose one imperfect but executable action and execute it as if your life depended on it. Because in the Samurai Code, it literally did. 10 push-ups at 6 in the morning, 1 page at 10 in the evening, 30 seconds of cold water at 7, 2 minutes of breathing at noon, 5 minutes of walking after lunch, 3 sentences in a journal in the morning. Just one action. And when you choose, you comment below.
Don't explain, don't contextualize, don't justify. Just declare. 10 push-ups, 6 a.m. 1 page, 10 p.m. 30 seconds cold water, 7 a.m. That is your personal code. That is modern Bushido. That is the end of laziness. Because when you make it public, you create social consequence. And social consequence is fuel for real discipline. It is harder to break a commitment when you have publicly declared your intention. Here is the last samurai truth from Master Yagyu Muninori, sword instructor to the shogunate. The warrior does not wait to be ready. He acts, and readiness comes during the action. You will never feel completely ready. You will never have complete certainty. You will never eliminate all fear. You will never have perfect conditions. And if you wait for it, you never act. Life passes while you wait for the ideal moment that never arrives. So you act first. Uncomfortable, unsure, imperfect, scared. And in the repeated action, through microscopic daily repetition, readiness is built, confidence emerges, discipline is born. Laziness dies when you stop negotiating. Discipline is born when you stop deciding every day. You decide once, you create a code, and you follow it without questioning, like a samurai. Act without thought, mushin, without drama, without pause, without perfection, wabi-sabi, without emotion, fudoshin, just total presence in the moment, hashin, and attention until the end, zanshin, invisible daily improvement, kaizen, clean restart every morning, shoshin. Day 1 versus day 30, the difference is not motivation, it is code. It is Bushido, applied to modern life. It is 7 ancient principles transformed into daily micro-habits that destroy laziness without heroism. Philosophy is not meant to make you wiser, it is meant to make you more alive. And you are only truly alive when you are in consistent action based on an unbreakable internal code, not on volatile external motivation. Which part of this teaching most confronted something real in you? Comment, declare your 2-minute code, and then live by it. 30 days, no exception, no negotiation, like a samurai who keeps his word. Day 1 starts tomorrow, but in truth, day 1 is every day. Every sunrise is a restart. Every moment is unique, and laziness dies when code is born. Build yours now.